We go to Megyn Kelly, who is calling us, I think, probably from the airport. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Glenn.
How are you?
I'm great. A little tired, but good.
I bet you are. Last night, I said when I first got on today that the big winner last night, I thought was you. You were spot on. You asked really tough questions, but you phrased them in a way that conservatives, want to ask them. I thought you were fair, tough, and when you said nobody can hear any of you, everybody shut up. You ran a tight ship. You did a fantastic job last night.
Thank you so much, Glenn. For me, watching some of the earlier debates was very frustrating because I knew that there was a way of controlling them. It was clear to me there was a way of controlling them. And I have a rapport with all of these guys, same as you do. You know what I mean? They know you. If you were out there, they would respect you. They know you don't hate them. You're not trying to hurt them. You're trying to foster a great debate, good TV. And so when we had that opening exchange, for me, it was fun because it was kind of like what I imagined it's like to be in the NBA, where you're kind of passing the ball behind your back and somebody catches it with ease and they go. Like we kind of got into a rhythm where I'm like, you go and we'd make eye contact like I'm coming to you. And that's what I hated about the NBC debate is they didn't let the candidates debate each other. I don't want to hear a Kristen Welker interview of Nikki Haley.
Yes.
I want the other candidates to talk to Nikki Haley. So anyway, thank you for saying that. It was a relief for me to get out there and let them let it rip.
So who did you think was the big winner and the big loser?
Well, I mean, with all respect to her, I thought Nikki Haley lost last night because she shrunk away. Like she was not really a presence. And she's been increasing her poll numbers by getting out there and being pugilistic. And that version of her did not appear on the stage last night. I thought Ramaswamy, if you didn't like him, he became even more unlikable to you. If you love him, he became even more lovable to you. Mm-hmm. I thought Ron DeSantis had his best debate yet.
Yeah.
And so I think you could probably say he's the winner because he's in the best poll position of the four. And he not only didn't hurt himself, although there was one bad exchange, he didn't hurt himself. He actually did help himself. He was tougher than we've seen. And I think that's the DeSantis we fell in love with back when, he was battling nasty reporters during COVID. Chris Christie, look, same rule for him as Vivek. If you're one of the 25% of Republicans who likes Chris Christie, you probably said, yeah, good. Screw Trump. He did his thing. We're on Team Christie. And if you are one of the 75% who doesn't like him, you probably enjoyed watching some of the other candidates get into it with him and some of the questions that the moderators had for him.
I have to tell you, we were watching it as a team last night, and we all cheered when you went to Chris Christie on transgenderism. We were like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good.
Oh. Can I tell you, and he tried to tell me that I didn't have my facts right on my second question. And of course I did. And he was misleading. But those are the two questions I showed up to ask, Glenn. I'm like, you know how much work goes into these things, right?
Yeah,
I mean, every single question we ask takes hours and in some cases days. You have to research so much and then you craft it and you recraft it and so on and so forth. And as you know, this is an issue that's near and dear not only to my heart, but to most conservatives' hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been so weak on it. He is too radical on this issue to be the Republican nominee, in my view. This is way out of step with where the Republican Party is. And it was the one reason I wanted him to make the debate. I prayed to the God. Down to God and all the angels above. Please let him make it.
Last night, I thought there was one weird moment with Chris Christie, and I think it really did not look good for Nikki Haley when Chris Christie came out and tried to defend her. That was nice and everything, but I think she should have turned and said, I don't need a man's help here. I'm fine. I don't need anybody's help. I can defend myself. The way she kind of looked down as he was saying that, I thought it made her look weak, and she's not a weak woman.
It was her lowest moment, and I got to give credit to Chris Stirewalt because he had said to me, here's my prediction. Chris Christie's going to try to white knight Nikki Haley. And man, he was right. And she did look weak. I felt like, she's been so strong at these debates in terms of defending herself and attacking others. And of all moments, she should have put her hand out and she should have said, Chris, I appreciate the help, but I got this. And then defended herself. And I could only conclude, was it because she was shaky on the Ukraine, counties, like the provinces? She did eventually come up with a few. I couldn't read it. Like maybe she doesn't know the answer and she's stalling, or she just wants this moment to pass because it wasn't a good moment for her.
I read that moment with the three provinces as, wait a minute, I know them, but are they provinces or regions or those cities? Just that moment of hesitation where you don't want to get it wrong, and then that moment just passed her, and then she came in. Unfortunately for her, when everyone was talking and nobody really heard her give the answer. And I still don't, because I didn't hear all of them. I don't know if she was right or wrong.
I know. The only one I heard is Crimea, and I'm like, oh, we all know that one.
Yeah, right.
So it is awkward, and it could be if the body language were different, it could be the power move to not take your opponent's little test. Like I can see that being like, screw you. I don't take your little exams, Vivek. You're not at Harvard anymore. But her body language was not projecting, I am confident, and I am dismissing this twerp. It projected, I have no idea. Help me. So that was not her finest moment. And I bet you there's going to be a little movement in the polls after this, because DeSantis, it was the guy we kind of thought he could be. And it wasn't in any way set up like this, but DeSantis had issues that are important to him brought up last night. And it's not like we said, oh, let's bring these up for Ron DeSantis. We brought these issues up because conservatives care about these issues.
Yes.
Trans, the vaccine injury, COVID. And he was very strong on those. He hasn't really had a chance to speak to a lot of these issues in the last debates because you got the Univision anchor out there talking about the Dreamers.
Right. Right.
Megan, I agree. I thought DeSantis was really good last night. What did you make of the one exchange where he wouldn't say whether he thought Trump was fit to be president or not? That was the one moment where it was very strange to me. Did you think he wanted to say no, he's not fit? Did you think he wanted to say yes, he was trying to walk the line? What was he doing there?
Yeah, I mean, that was when I said he did great, except for one moment. That was the moment. He did not handle that well. And I got to give credit where it's due. Chris Christie is great at that kind of thing.
Yes.
He didn't answer it, like forensically diagnosing somebody's bad answer. There's no one better than Chris Christie at it, and he honed in on him, and it was uncomfortable. DeSantis doesn't want to make news. He doesn't want to alienate the Trump base with the big headlines from him saying Trump is unfit. So he was,
But why not say right now he's fit?
He doesn't want to say that either. He doesn't believe it. And I think he understands that there's a certain psychology within the Republican Party that is recognizing the two people likely to be the nominees are too old, and they are really not as fit as we'd like them to be. Either one of them. Let's face it. And
so do you think that
as a 45-year-old man?
Hang on just a second. Because I think I would love for the Nancy Pelosi generation to sit down and retire. Okay, let the younger generation now take this. However, do you think that Donald Trump has faded from where he was in 2020?
Yeah, I do.
Huh.
I mean, I take him over Joe Biden any day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to, fill out this term, never mind a second. But there's no question Trump has lost a step or multiple steps. He is confusing Joe Biden for Obama. I know he's now saying he intentionally did that. Go back and look at the clips. It wasn't intentional. It was look, any of us could have a slip of the tongue, but it's happening to him repeatedly. The reference about how somebody's going to get us into World War II, confusing countries, confusing cities where he is. It's happening more and more. With all due respect to Trump, this is what happens when you're 77 years old.
Yeah.
Trump seems inhuman, but he's not inhuman. He's a human. He's a man. DeSantis' line about father time spares no one was a good one. So, look, if it's between Trump and Biden, I don't think there's any question who's more fit and who's capable. But are we really going to pretend that Donald Trump is just as vibrant and mentally sharp as he was in 2016? Okay.
I only have about 70 or 80 seconds here for this, but do you think Trump is going to jail?
I'm starting to worry. He's definitely going to get convicted in multiple jurisdictions. But Andy McCarthy, who's very smart on these things, was pointing out that Judge Chutkan in D.C. in the federal case on J6.
Yeah.
You know, she hates him. That everybody knows that. In D.C., the jury's going to hate him. That he thinks there's some pretty good odds she will not release him from jail pending appeal after his likely conviction.
So what does that do to the system?
Glenn, that's why we have to have an undercard.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. They got to run all the way to the end. Somebody has got to run all the way to the end. We have to have an undercard. But I mean, that is going to that's just chaos in the streets. Oh yeah.
America will burn if they put Trump in jail before this election.
God help us.
Burn. I don't want it. I just see the reality the same as you do. And we are going to need the National Guard city to city. You know, MAGA is going to rise up, and there will be a lot of sympathizers who understand it and don't try to stop it. This woman cannot be allowed to do that.
All right. Thank you very much, Megan. Best of luck to you today. And again, great job last night. Thank you for bringing a reasonable debate to America. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Great to see you too, Stu. All the best.
Thanks, don't Megan. Give him any love.
I love Stu.
Yes.
Stu loves America.
Thanks, Get off my phone, Megan. All right, Megyn Kelly.